Hi everyone, welcome back to our new tutorial. Hope you guys are well. So today in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you guys can make this beautiful login form, and this login form is also functional, and we will create this functional login form using just Python. And here you can see that we have a window here, and inside this window we have a background image and a frame here, and inside this frame we have a title and a subtitle and a username and password text, and here we have an entry field also, so that we can type our username and password. And here underneath this field we have two buttons here. One is forget password and the second one is login. And as I mentioned earlier, this login form is actually working and functional. So let's see. Here you can see that I will keep this username and password field empty, and then if we click on our login, let's see what will happen. Here you can see that we have a message here, and this is showing an error, and this message is saying that all fields are required. It means you have to fill up this both of this field, and then you can click on our login. So let's see. First I will fill up this username and I will keep this password field empty, and let's see what is happened if we click on our login. Here you can see that there is another message, and this is also an error message, and it is saying that all fields are required. It means you have to fill this password field also. So let's fill up this password field also and then click on our login. Here you can see that we have another message, and this message is saying that invalid username or password. It means our username and our password is actually incorrect. So now we have to put our correct username and password. So our correct username is tag2 etc, and our correct password is 123456. That's it. Now let's click on our login. Here you can see that now we have a message here, and this message is saying that welcome tag2 etc, and this is welcoming us, and this is my username here. So yeah, here you can see that this login form is actually functional. Whenever we put incorrect username and password, this is showing an error message, and whenever we put correct username and password, and this is showing another message. And here you can see that this login form is actually functional and working, and in a few minutes I will show you how you guys can make this login form using Python. And before we start, if you guys are new in my channel, then please press subscribe, like this video, and press the bell icon for the future videos. And if you guys have any question about this video, you guys can comment below. So let's get started. Now first open your favorite code editor, then create a project file, then create a Python file. So now click right and then go to the new and Python file. So my Python file name will be main.py. That's it. Now from Kinter module we have to import everything. That's it. And now we have to create a class, and our class name will be login. That's it. And now here we have to define a constructor. So that's why in itself, and here it will be root also. That's it. And for now I will give this pass. So our root file will be our tk. That's it. And our object will be our class name, and this will be inside our root. That's it. And root dot main loop, it will be inside our main loop. That's it. Now if we run our program, here you can see that we have a window here, and this window name is tk. Now we have to create some heading and a window for this, so that's why I will delete this pass. First we have to initialize our root, so that's why self dot root will be our root. That's it. And now we have to again self dot root, and now we have to create a title, so that's why, and our title will be login system. That's it. And now I will give width and height of our window, so that's why again self dot root dot geometry, and now we have to give width and height. So our width will be 1199 and x, and our height will be 600. Now if we run, let's see what happens. So here you can see that a window is pop up, and here you can see that this window is not actually showing in from the center. So that's why I want to show this window from the center. So that's why here I have to give from x-axis and from y-axis. That's it. Now if we run, So here you can see that now this window is showing from the center here. So that's it. Now we have to insert our image here. Here I want to insert a background image, so that's why let's first comment out this will be background image. That's it. Now for adding our image we have to again call our self, and now we have to initialize our bg, which is background image. Then we have to use photo image. That's it. And here we have to give our file name. So our file name is here. You can see that in our project file I have an image folder, and inside this image we have a file name which is one.jpg. So that's why first we have to initialize our folder which is images, and then we have to insert our image name which is one.jpg. So now here you can see that this photo image is actually work for our png file, but here you can see that our photo is actually jpg file, so this will not work. We have to fix this one later. So for now we have to again call ourselves, and this will be bg image. That's it. And now here we have to create our label, and this image file will be insert our window, our self.root window. So that's why we have to write here self.root, and then our image will be our self.bg. And now we have to place this image, so that's why place, and here we have to give x and y value. So our x value will be 0, and our y value will be also 0. And now we have to give a real width, and it will be 1, and we have to give our real height, it will be also 1. That's it. Now if we run, here you can see that we have an error, because I already told you that this photo image is actually work for our png files, but this is actually our jpg file. So now in order to showing our jpg file, now we have to import another module which is pillow. So now we have to from pil, this is the short form of our pillow module. So from pillow we have to import our image tk. That's it. Now if you don't have installed pillow in your system, so for installing this module in your system you just have to, let's comment out this will be pip and install pillow. That's it. You just have to write this code in your terminal, and then the pillow module will be installed in your system. So that's it. Now we have to add this image tk in our photo image here. So that's why I have to write image tk dot photo image. Now if we run, let's see what happens. Here you can see that our image is showing now. So I am again saying that this photo image will work if your file is a png file, but this photo image will not work if your file is a jpg file. So in order to showing your jpg file, you have to import image tk from our pillow module. So yeah, that's it. Here you can see that if we run again in our module, here you can see that if we resize, we have actually a space from left and right side, and I don't want this resize option, so I will disable this option. So that's why here we have to again call our self.root. So this will be our self.root, and from here we have to call our resizable, and from x-axis I will use false, and from y-axis I will also use false. Okay, because I don't want to use our resizable option. So that's why if we run again, here you can see that we can't resize our window again. Okay, this option is disabled now. Now here in our this window I want to create a box here for our login system, for our username and our password and other things, for our heading and subheadings. So now we have to create a frame here. So for creating this frame, comment out first. So this will be our login frame. That's it. So now we have to take a variable which will be frame, and this will be login. That's it. Now we have to create a frame, so that's why frame, and this frame will be inside our self.root. So that's why here it will be self.root, and now I will give a background color, so our bg will be white. That's it. Now we have to place this frame, so that's why we have to again write frame login, and dot we have to now place. So from x value this will be 330, and from Y it will be 150, and now I'll give a width 500, and I will give a height also, and our height will be 400. That's it. Now if we run, let's see what happens. Here you can see that now we have a frame inside our window, and this frame is actually in the center, because here you can see that we have give X value and Y value and then width and height, so that's why this is showing in the center. And now here I want a title here, so that's why let's create a title. So let's comment out first. So our comment will be title and subtitle. Now create a variable. Now you have to create a label. So label, and this title actually will be inside our frame, not inside our window, so that's why here it will be frame login. And now I want to give a text here, so text will be login here. That's it. And now I will give our font, and our font style will be impact. That's it. And our font size will be 35, and our font weight will be bold. That's it. And now I will give a font color, so that's why it will be FG, and color will be this one. And I will give a background color also, so that's why it will be BG, and the BG will be white. And now we have to place this heading, so that's why we have to add place. And now we have to give a X value here. X will be 90, and our Y value will be 30 here. That's it. Now if we run, here you can see that we have a heading here which is login. Here you can see that from this X side it is taking 90, and from this Y side it is taking 30. Now I want to create a subheading here also. So for doing this I will just simply copy this one. That's it. And this will be not title, this will be subtitle. And this subtitle will be also inside our form login, and here our text will be different, and this will be members login area. And I will change this font style also, and this will be Gaudi old style. That's it. And I will change the font size, and it will be 15. That's it. And for our font color I will change this color, and the color will be this one, and our BG will be white. And now we have to place this one, and for X I will keep this 90, but for our Y it will be 100. That's it. Now let's run. So here you can see that now we have a subtitle here, and this is taking from X, this is 19, and from Y it is taking 100. And now here I want to create a username option, so that's why let's create this username. So for creating this username I will just simply copy this one. Now let's comment out first. So this will be for our username. That's it. And now I will change this title also. This will be label for our user. That's it. And this username text will be also inside our frame.login, and for our text here it will be username, not member area login. And that's it. Now I will keep this font style, and font size, and font width. So our font color will be gray. That's it. And I will keep this background, and for our place here X will be 90 and Y will be 140. That's it. Now let's run this one. So here you can see that we have a username text here. Now I want to create an entry option here, so that we can type our username. So for doing this I will simply copy this one. First we have to create a variable here, so that's why it will be self and username, and this will be not label, this will be entry, and this entry will be also inside our frame.login. And this text I don't want any text here, and I will keep this font style and font size, and I don't want any font width, so delete this one. And I don't want any font color here, and our background color will be this one. That's it. Now you have to remember one thing is this: you can't place this entry field in actually in one line, in the same line, because here you can see that in our heading, in our subtitle or title, we can actually place this thing in actually in the same line, but for our entry we cannot place this thing in the same line. We have to create a separate line for our placing this entry. So that's why we have to just create a self dot username and then we have to place this in a separate field. So I will just copy this thing from here, delete this here, and paste it here. And from our x it will be 90, and from our y I will add 30 here, so this will be 170. That's it. Now I will give a width and height also. So first I will give our width, and our width will be 320, and now I will give a height also, and our height will be 35. That's it. Now let's run this one. So here you can see that we have a entry field here, and this is looking good. So now underneath this username and this entry field I want to create another field for our password option. So that's why I will just simply copy this one. That's it. And this one will be for our password, and this will be our level password, and here it will be our password, not username. And now we have to place this line here, and from y here you can see that our previous y was actually in 170. Now we have to add 40 here, so this will be 210. That's it. And this will be our password, and our entry, this will be frame login, and I will keep this font style and font size, and this background also. Now this will be also password. That's it. And now here you can see that we have to place this one also. From x I will keep this one 90, and from y here you can see that our last y section was actually 210. Now we have to add 30 here, so this will be 240. That's it. And I will keep this width and height. Now let's run this one. Here you can see that now we have a password option here also. So yeah, here you can see that now we have created our login title and our subtitle, and username text here, and entry field and a password text, and entry field here also. Now I want to create a button here, so this button will be forget password. So for creating this one, so first let's comment out. So this will be our button. That's it. So for our forget button, let's create a variable first. So this will be forget, and now we have to create our button, so that's why it will be our button. So for button I will just completely copy this thing from here and I paste it here. So our forget button will be also inside our frame.login, and here it will be not password, this will be forget password. And from our font I will keep this font style and font size, and I don't want this font width here, so that's why delete this one. And our font color will be this one, and with our background will be white. And now we have to place this one, so I will keep this x90. And now for y, our previous y actually 240, now we have to 40 add here, so that's why it will be 280. That's it. Now let's run this one. So here you can see that we have a button here, our forget button. Now I don't want actually any border here, so that's why we have to add another property. This one will be our border BD, and it will be 0. That's it. Now let's run again. So now here you can see that we don't have any border here. So after this button, now I want to create another button so that we can submit our username and our password. So here this button will be our login button. So for creating this button, I will just copy this one, and let's change this variable. This will be submit. That's it. And this will be inside our form login, and text will be actually login here. That's it. And I don't want any border here, so that's why BD will be 0. And for our font I will keep this font style, and our font size will be 15. Font color, here you can see that we have our font color and background color. Now this will be our font color, and this will be our background color. That's it. And now we have to place this one. Now here you can see that I will keep this x90, and for our y, our last y was actually 280. Now we have to add 40 here, so this will be 320. That's it. Now we have to give a width and height also. So our width will be 180, and now we have to give a height, and our height will be 40. That's it. Now let's run this one. So yeah, here you can see that now we have a login button here. So yeah, here you can see that we have created our login, and we have actually finished our step 2 here. we have created our heading, subheading, and username, and our entry, password and entry, and we have two button here. And then now we have to make our login from functional, so that's why I go to our text editor here, and underneath this button, and we have to define a function here, and our function name will be check function, that's it. And this will be inside our self. Now here we have to create our first condition, so that's why if, now first we have to take our self dot username, so that's why self dot username, and if anyone keep this username option empty, or anyone keep our password field also empty, then now we have to show a message box here, error message here, that all fields are required. So now we have to import another module here. So for doing this we have to import our message box from our Tinker module, so that's why from Kinter we have to import message box, that's it. And now here it will be message box, that's it, dot, and now we have to show error here. And now here we have to give two parameter, one is actually will be error, that's it, and another one will be our message which we want to show the user. So this will be all fields are required, and our parent will be self.root, that's it. So now we have created our first condition. Now we have to create our second condition, so that's why I will just completely copy this one, and this one will be else if. And now here we have to give our correct username and password, and for my username I will be writing tag2 etc, that's it, and our password would be 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, that's it. This will be actually not equal, that's it, and this will be also not equal. And here in our second condition, if anyone type our username incorrectly and our password incorrectly, they will see a message here, error message here, and this will be invalid username or password. And now here if this two condition is not matching, now we have to create a else part also, and in our else part we have to show a message here, so that's why I will call our message box, and here it will be show info here, and this will be welcome, and here I will create our f string, so this will be welcome. And now I want to show the user's name here, so that's why this will be self dot username dot get, that's it here. But if we now click on run, and if we now click on our login here, you can see that nothing is happening because we have to define this function in our submit button. So for doing this, here we have to create a command here. So this function is will be here, that's it. And then now we have to create a command here. Whenever we will click in our login, a command function will create, and this function is here. So for doing this, now we have to create a command, and this command will be inside our self dot check function, that's it. And don't give this parenthesis here. So now let's give you guys a quick recap. Here you can see that we have import all our necessary module here, then we have created our class, and we have created our login class here, and then we have defined our instructor, and here we have created our root, and now in this line we have initialized our root, and then in the next line we have created our login system title, and then we have give width and height for our window, and then we have disabled our resizable option. And then here you can see that we have created our background image here, and we have called ourselves and our bg, and we have used our photo image and our file name here, and because this file is actually a jpg file, that's why we have to import our image tk, and then we have placed our image here, and underneath this here you can see that we have created our login frame, and we have created our variable, and we have created our frame, and we have give a background color also, and here you can see that we have placed our frame, and we have give width and height here, and underneath this here you can see that we have created our title and subtitle. So this one is our main title, and we have created our login here, and our font color and font background color, and then we have placed our first heading, and like this one we have created our subheading also, and then we have placed this one here also, here. So underneath this, here you can see that we have created our username and our password here also. So this one is for our variable, and then we have created our label here, and our username option is actually inside our frame login, so that's why we have to put here frame login. And this one is our username, and our font size, font color, and font width, and font color here also. And then we have placed this one here, and underneath this, here you can see that we have created an entry field, and this one is font color, font size, and then we have placed our entry field in a different line, in a separate line. And like this username, we have created our password field also. So after this password, we have created our forget button and our submit button here. So, and this is actually is our forget button, and this is actually our button here, login button. And we have created our command and this function, check function here, and we have created 3 conditions. First one is if anyone keep this username and this password field empty and they clicked on our login option, they will see a message here, and this message will be all fields are required. And if anyone put incorrect username or incorrect password, they will see a message here, and this message will be invalid username or password. If these 2 condition is not matching, then we have to create a else part, and this is actually welcome message. And here we have typed welcome, and we have to take our username here, and this is our root and our object file main loop. So yeah, here you can see that if we run here in our login option, here you can see that I want a cursor here, not a pointer, I want a cursor, so that everyone can understand this is actually a 2 button here. So for doing this, here you can see that in our button we have to add another module. Here you can see that I will put cursor, and this will be actually hand 2, that's it. Now I have to copy this one and paste it here also, that's it. Now let's run, and here you can see that whenever we hover on our button here, we have actually not pointer cursor here, and this is looking good. Now let's see this login form is working or not. Here you can see that I will keep this username and password field empty, and then if we click on our login, let's see what will happen. Here you can see that we have a message here, and this is showing an error, and this message is saying that all fields are required. It means you have to fill up both of this field, and then you can click on our login. So let's see. First I will fill up this username, and I will keep this password field empty, and let's see what is happened if we click on our login. Here you can see that there is another message, and this is also an error message, and it is saying that all fields are required. It means you have to fill this password field also. So let's fill up this password field also, and then click on our login. Here you can see that we have another message, and this message is saying that invalid username or password. It means our username and our password is actually incorrect. So now we have to put our correct username and password. So our correct username is tag2 etc, and our correct password is 123456. That's it. Now let's click on our login. Here you can see that now we have a message here, and this message is saying that welcome tag2 etc, and this is welcoming us, and this is my username here. So yeah, here you can see that this login form is actually functional. Whenever we put incorrect username and password, this is showing an error message, and whenever we put a correct username and password, and this is showing another message. And here you can see that this login form is actually functional and working. So yeah, here you can see that we have created our login form, and this login form is looking beautiful, and this login form is working also, and it is functional login form. And that's it guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you guys really enjoyed this tutorial, then please subscribe, like this video, and press the bell icon for the future videos. And if you guys have any question about this video, you guys can comment below, and let's see you guys in our next tutorial.